much for joining us. Now we have Livleen Kanu ma'am. She is waiting for a while. Welcome, Livleen ma'am. I'll be
Thank
pinning
you.
you.
Thank you. I was also listening to the presentation. So it's enriching to be here on the platform. Thank you.
Yeah, and Livleen ma'am, I don't have to tell you, she's currently associate director with the Energy Resource Institute, and we have been having such good time since last few months because we did a lot of events to protect our planet, our festival. Then after that, we did WSDF functions happened, and then our students were also there. So it's all good, and especially because Livleen ma'am especially specializes in school education part of Terry's project. So over to you, Livleen ma'am. The students will be interacting with you, and your presentation also counts. At 9:30, we'll be joined by Idrita Ziri, who's currently Miss Earth 2023 from Albania. And she's very young. She's having her exam today, so we had to change her session as well. So over to you, Livleen ma'am.
Thank you, Rajiv ji. A pleasure to be here on the platform. And let us make it a little interactive because it's so late in the night for some of you, while it will be like midday in other parts of the country. So understanding the time zone difference, let's try to be a little bit more alert. And while I'm talking with you, maybe you could parallelly write some questions in the chat box that will keep me awake and more engaged in the conversation. So, what I want to talk to you today is not about science, it's not about environment, it's not about the resources, it's not what you read and learn from your textbooks. Okay, so you must be wondering then, why am I here on the World Environment Day and what is there I need to speak to you? The theme of the World Environment Day, as you all know, is land restoration, desertification, and drought resilience. Oops, these are very big words. So if I'm not going to talk about them with you, what is new that I will let you know? So I want you to relax for the next 10 minutes, just loosen up and try to listen and imbibe what I'm trying to tell you. First of all, you are children, you are our future. So you don't need us, we need you. So, first of all, you need to take pride in your presence, in your existence. And having said that, you should be aware of two important things from now on in your life. One is, these are, I say, are the two R's. One is your role, second is the rule. So, all of you are informed, you are educated enough, you should be able to grasp and understand what is there in the policy framework, what is there in the rules that strengthen your resolve in protecting the planet Earth. And once you understand the rule, you need to design your role. Each one of you is a change maker. Act now is such an important word. And how will you act now? Once you are able to make conscious decisions and you are able to contribute to a better environment. Okay, so taking context of India, because I see most of you are from India, are you aware that now we have a climate litigation in place in India? And there's an important ruling by the highest court, Supreme Court, which says that people have a fundamental right to be free from adverse impacts of climate change. If you are aware of this rule, you can stand up and question anyone if you witness any activity that is against the environment, that is further increasing the impact of climate change. So, your knowledge about rules should be there. Then, there are also directives in place, again by the Honorable Supreme Court, which says about a lot of focus on teaching about environment studies, environment education at school level, and the undergraduate level. NCRT is now formulating new textbooks where environment education will be very clearly defined. The topics of environment will be there in the textbooks for students to learn. And it is not about learning, it's about practice. You will be given opportunities to create models, to create, to substantiate with case studies about your understanding about environment and climate change. And why is all this happening? Because in our country, in India, we now have a national education policy in place. So, why, for those of you who are not from India, this information important? Please look up on the laws of the country. Definitely now, globally, the study of environment is very important, it is very crucial, and it is being promoted across the schools, across the colleges. And once you are knowledgeable about it, you will be in a more strength position of strength to be an ambassador of change. So this is what first point that I want you to remember. Remember your role, remember your role, and then you can make a difference. Second, let's come to numbers. Don't feel that you are at very young, you cannot make a difference. You know, it is the collection of so many dots that make a complete picture. India has a very strong young population. Similarly, across the world, the numbers of youth is far, far more. And when the youth are there, if the demographic profile is in the favor of youth, you should stand up and speak for your rights. And when you speak for your rights, in a good environment, a cleaner environment, a greener environment is your fundamental right. Now, let us take a look at what is happening at the global scale. You must have all heard about the Sustainable Development Goals and how they are making a change in different countries, the setting up of NDCs and all. Why should you be concerned about the SDGs? You need to be very clear. Education, health, infrastructure, job creation, economic growth, all of them which are laid out in the SDGs are your future prospects of growth. Only when you get this conducive feelers, you get this conducive support systems, you will be able to contribute towards the sustainable development, the sustainable growth of the country. Now, this is getting a little heavy for you. You must be thinking, I said I will not talk about science, and here I am. Again, I'm talking about SDGs and all. We are trying to build in a context how you can be a positive force for development. Can you put in the chat box something that says or reflects what you feel is the most important quality that the youth of today should have to make a change in the world around? Quickly, if you could type down in the chat box, it will be of help to me.
Qualities.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, that's such a nice point somebody has written, that the biggest threat to Earth is believing that someone else will save it. Yes, you know, this is a myth. Please do away with this myth. Nobody else is going to come to save you. And who can save you? You yourself can save yourself. And how is it possible? Please take a step back and look at your traditional systems, the traditions which have made you a personality, a genetic makeup, a phenotypic makeup, a
Mind
meme of what you are today. Because
set
you have
of
inherited a lot of
doing
qualities from your ancestors. And when you have inherited these qualities, you should be able to take
things
pride in them and also pass on these beautiful messaging, the DNA, the phenotype, the memes that I've said to your future generations. And how can you do it? Intergenerational dialogues. Intergenerational dialogues are a very, very strong support that will help us in reaching a better, sustainable world. You know, what do we learn from our seniors? They have lived in a particular set of environment. They have adapted themselves to that environment, and by practice, they know what is right, what is wrong. Okay. So when they are able, when they are in a conversation with you, they will automatically pass on this knowledge, this time tested knowledge of what is possible, what is not possible, what is right, what is not right, and then you can make your own choices. And if you are in contact, if you are a part of this intergenerational dialogues, if you ever trip, there will be someone who will hold you and bring you back on the right path. Youth is power. You have to move forward. You have to do different things because change is the only constant. But please do regard, do respect the traditional knowledge systems, the intergenerational dialogues, because when you are dependent on on a strong foundation, you will be, it will be very easy for you to reach the top of the pyramid. Okay. Now, there's another very nice point that is written: to have the mindset of doing things that is not required, like leaving light on when not required. This is a very positive environmental practice, but this is also your value system. Right now, with the temperatures so high, we know we are in the middle of a heat stress. What are the values that we are practicing at home? Are we ready to give away the luxury of one room, one AC, one person? Are we ready to sit collectively in a central place in the house with only one air conditioner on, so that the load on power on your electrical gadgets is not high? This is the value system that we are talking of. You know, if we have something, we should regard it with the highest respect. And when we see that there is a need to cut down our demands, we should automatically do it as a part of a value system. Not leaving the lights on, doing away with the luxuries, not wasting water, not wasting electricity. These are simple things which are your value systems, which you should take pride in. And as an elder sibling at home, pass on this information, pass on this behavior to your other brothers and sisters. Protecting the environment is all about changing or looking at the behavioral aspect of your own self. Reducing your carbon footprint is possible when you do away with the need to have more, to procure more, and try to adjust to what is available. Another point that is written down here is the ability to speak, work, and think according to the deed. As we should be responsible, we are gonna inherit it, not our past generations. Absolutely. Because you are there. We are, if you understand what is a fossil, if you understand what is an endangered species, the elder generation falls in that category. At the max, what we will do is we will be talking about certain do's and don'ts to you, and slowly, before you even realize, we would have exited the scene. But you are the one, you are the custodians of change. You are going to help us see a new and better world. Now, you have said that to think conserving Earth is a duty as youth. Yes, it is a duty, and make it your precious duty. Make it a duty that you really hold in high regards. It is just not a duty that is given as a lip service, but it is more ingrained on your soul, and you are there as an agent of change. Look back, what used to make happy, used to make you happy when you were a kid? Sharing, being in a classroom when you are able to share your things, somebody is offering you, you are able to celebrate your birthdays. You look at a simple example of a birthday celebration. If you are loaded with resources and you are kept isolated and you are asked to celebrate your birthday, will you be able to do so on your own? No. You need friends, you need family, you need to be able to go and show people what you have got as gifts. You need gifts, you want to give return gifts. So, this same principle applies to how you celebrate your presence on Mother Earth. Resources are there for universal good. You exchange them, you use them, you do not abuse them. And that is the beauty of staying in a harmony with your mother. Such beautiful things are written in chat. We should remember that small drops make the ocean, and our small steps can have a huge impact. Absolutely. There is something called as NIMBY, not in my backyard. That means it is a practice in which we feel that if something negative is not happening in front of my eyes, it does not exist. It is something very similar to what we used to hear a story in when we were very young, that on seeing a cat, the pigeon closes the eyes and pretends that the cat is not there. What will happen? The cat will consume the pigeon. So just trying to pretend that the problem does not exist is not the solution to a problem. Acknowledgement has to be there. We acknowledge the problem. We try to find a solution to it. And while we are trying to find a solution to it, we connect with more and more like minded souls to have a larger impact. Think smarter, be smarter. We are the future of tomorrow. Absolutely. If you have said it, that is the final line I would say of what I want to speak to you. But yes, I close here. I will stay connected. You can write to me even later. The messages are: be connected with your parents, be connected with your value systems, try to share resources, and try not to contain things to your own good. The more you share, the more you care, the better the planet will be to live in. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for your time. And always remember the 2 R's, the role and the rule. Thank you. Any
Thank you,
questions?
Livleen, ma'am. Thank you so much. You speak so well, you will take all away my job. It's so well tailored and so, I mean, fitting to the students. You'll be surprised to know that these students, almost 30 to 50 students, they have been working for almost 1 month now under the training and guidance of Ronnie Anthony from Taiwan, preparing for their
Lovely.
session. And in fact, they will be having their own session from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 hours non-stop. So they have been at it, and most of them have been at the program for almost 24 hours since the event started. And even before that, they have been into it. So that is the purpose of this event also. We need to ignite this young mind. They need to know their surroundings, what is happening around them, and they can take appropriate measures. If they can't do it themselves, they have to put pressure on the governments, local municipalities, local authorities, so that our lives become a little better. Living in Delhi, we know what kind of life we are leading. We don't have to tell them. They are experiencing it. And that is why we are so thankful to these students. And we have Drita Giri from Albania. She is just 18, a very young student, Miss Earth 2024. We are thankful to Miss Earth Foundation. We have been working with them since 2010. And since that almost every single Miss Earth has been in our programs also. Trita is very young. She's all of 18 or 19 years old from Albania. And welcome, Trita. I know you had an examination today, and I don't know how you
Hi.
did, but hopefully it went well. Tell us about your exam today.
Can you hear me first? I just want to make sure I'm
Yes, yes.
okay. I just turned 19 recently, and I really want to thank you for understanding my situation because they just gave us the exam timelines, and I was like, oh no, it was like the exact time that we had set up. It was the basis of management, which is very important. Also, what I'm studying about, I'm studying tourism management. So when you study about the basis of management, you also see where the problems come from. So I'm very glad I chose a degree that really helps me to be more into this whole thing that can help us treat our earth better.
So thank you, Rita. And you can't complete your studies of tourist management until and unless you have come to India. I don't know whether you have been here. So you have to come
I'll
here.
be very happy to come.
I'm thankful to Irina and I'm thankful to Lorraine and Ashford because we have been in touch for very long time. And we have done a lot of workshop in Miss Earth Foundation also since 2011 and 12. And 2010, Nicole Faria from India had won the crown. And since then, every single Miss Earth has been with us. And you know that your always is committed to promoting environmental awareness. You do a lot of projects with United Nations also. Just to for the information of the young students here, Miss Earth is one of the big 4 beauty pageants. Is also the co-host of the UN Environment Program's Champions of the Earth, an annual international environmental awards established in 2005. They're also working with a lot of other projects, including the Climate Reality Project, which Miss Earth supports, and all the Miss Earth beauty queens take forward this cause, and they travel around the world also. You may not know that we also had. I'm also associated as a social director for Glamour, which had Miss Earth franchise for a couple of years. So, so there's a lot of things around. But today you are here in order to talk about environment, sustainability, young students. You are young yourself, and what is your experience? But before we go on to that, I would like to share 1 or 2, 3 videos. One video is from Miss Earth Foundation itself, which shows the all the work that has been done on the environmental sector by different beauty queens over the year. And second is a small clip for your crowning moment. So can I request JK sir to play these video sequences V68 and V69 together?
Sure, sure.
plastic, waste chemicals, and other pollutants. 80% of marine pollution originates on land from farms, cities, and factories. Marine debris, particularly plastic, is blown in through our winds or washed in through our drains. In our oceans, there is more plastic than fish. 8 million metric tons. That is how much plastic is dumped into our oceans each year. That's about 17.6 billion pounds. By 2050, plastic will outweigh our ocean's aquatic life. Think about that the next time plastic is improperly disposed. In your future, would you wish to swim among the beauty and the brilliance of aquatic life? Or would you rather swim surrounded by plastic?
Spreading love and joy, fun and laughter, woman of the earth, making miracles forever.
I'm your 2022 Miss Earth Korea, Mina Soo Choi. I am 23 years old, studying communications at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I'm a proud Korean, and I hope to use my unique experiences to creatively inspire others and constantly challenge the status quo.
Forever after loving, caring, working, sharing, teaching, singing, mothering, woman of the earth, woman of the earth, woman of the
will become Miss Earth 2023. The moment of truth.
Miss Earth 2023 is
To welcome to the stage the founder of Long Beach Pearl, Madam Hui Kan.
I'm so honored to announce Vietnam is the host country for Miss Earth 2024 again.
So that made you smile, Rita.
Oh, I got goosebumps all over my body. Just
Okay.
reliving that moment.
Okay, I mean, you're so young. I know Esther and Lorraine, as we call Peachy ma'am. So it's very nice that last year we had Mina Shusoi from Korea, and then before that, Lindsay Copy, who did extensive work in Cape Town when there's water shortage, and obviously our own Nicole Pari 2010. So there's a long history. So unfortunately, your clip for environmental actions couldn't be put together because the editor had a cramp and he couldn't put it up in your clip. Maybe we'll share it later on. And do you have any opening statements, opening message with these very young students? Not very young because you are too young as well.
Yes, I do think that my age in the beginning was a little bit of a discussion for everyone because I was so young, but at the same time, I think for me it was a strong point because I lived through a lot of phases that our Earth went on these last couple of years. So I think that just made me understand better what world do I want to live in and what world do I want to look forward to. So I do think that all these young students here need to understand and to really think about having a healthy earth and a good earth for us to live in. First, we should have a healthy and a good mindset because everything starts from our movements, what we do, what we think, and how we share it. So if we have a healthy mindset, if we know what's right, what's wrong, and if we see the problem that's happening right now, and we don't just neglect it and say someone else is going to take care of it, then each and every one of us is going to take action, and from action we're going to see improvement. So yes, I would say that's my opening statements, not for all students here, for students all over the world, because it's important that young minds are educated, because the young minds are the ones that are going to make the difference later on.
Thank you, Drita. I mean, there is a lot of misconception about beauty pageant, but I have known them closely, especially in our own Delhi NCR parents and
Yeah.
the teachers, and they have a lot of other things going on in their mind about the beauty queens and beauty pageant. But as I know Miss Earth so closely for so many years, and I worked with so many of them, I've spent Jamie Harrell is one of my favorite queens because she was also very young when she won this
Mhm.
crown, and she's a very good ambassador for ACT now as well. And but knowing the organization, that is at least one organization that works both for beauty and cost together, and
Yes.
lots of very good things, very young talented. So yeah, you have lots of time to interact with the students. Tell me one of your most beautiful moments after getting the crown and until now, because you have few months left to hold on to that crown.
Oh yes, don't even remind me of that. I have just a few months left, but it was definitely after I got crowned, after I came back in Albania and shared those emotions with my family, because my family couldn't come to Vietnam to see me and to see me perform and answer the questions and everything. So I definitely hold that moment very close to my heart. But I've done a lot actually these past months. I've met a lot of children. I love working with children. I really, as I said, I do think that educating young minds and putting your thoughts and your everything into young kids to try to educate them and to try to get them to know what they're surrounded of and how they can take care of it, it's very important. So I've done a lot here in Albania, and recently I was in Bukidnon, Philippines. And there I met a lot of people, and I saw the beautiful nature, the beautiful sceneries that surrounded that place, and how much people really cared for it and were worried that those things might go away because of what's happening right now. So I think these past few months have been very important also for me. I've learned new things. I've started to notice more, maybe because I've become more vigilant and try to see things from a different perspective, knowing that now I have a platform, I have a voice, and I have people actually listening, hearing me, and some people idolizing me, especially when it comes to young girls or young kids in general. So I'm more careful with what I say, more careful with what I do, and I try to see the importance, the beauty, and I try to see everything in different perspectives in order to come into a very, very good ending point.
Thank you, Drita. I've been expecting some Albanian teachers and students to join the session. At least I have, and they have sent me a beautiful Albanian dance, also in traditional costume, which will
Yes,
share.
I saw the video. It was so nice.
Okay, I think I'll just put her on. So you didn't tell about the examination. How did it go, and what exam was it today, and what you have next?
It was the basis of management. That was the exam I had today. It started at 10 in the morning. It finished around 12. These past couple of weeks have been very busy for me. I came back from the Philippines, and then Miss Chypria pageant started. As you can see, that's the logo of Miss Chypria, where we hold the franchises for Miss Earth and other important beauty pageants. So I've been very closely working with them since I'm hosting the final show. I just came back from a recording. I was recording something very special, and I rushed here because I was so afraid I was gonna miss it. But thank God I made it. The exam went very, very well, thankfully. I was a bit stressed out because I didn't have enough time to study or to study more. In my opinion, my mom's a teacher, so I've always had someone in my home, both my parents, but especially my mom, being like, study, study, that's important. That's where you're gonna get your knowledge. That's where you're gonna get all the skills that you need to survive in the earth. So study. So when your mom's a teacher, studying becomes 100 times more important, in my opinion.
Good. And we're all teachers and students here. Lindita is there from Albania. So a quick word, Lindita, 30 seconds to Rita because you are home kids. Lindita, can you unmute yourself?
Lenita, I can take the turn?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. Dëgjojmë tani.
Hindi dëgjoj shumë mirë, but speak English.
Yeah, but
You
my
speak
English is
Albanian, we
not very
understand.
good. I can speak in Albanian or in Italian.
Italian, Albanian, anything. We
Oh,
just want to
thank
hear
you.
you.
Okay, thank you. Jam shumë e lumtur që jemi këtu pjesë, jam shumë e lumtur që Drita Ziri është aty midis jush. Ne kemi një shprehje të bukur të Nën Terezës që thotë bëjmë vepra të vogla me dashuri të madhe. Ne si mësues të lutim Zotin që të arrim të edukojmë breza të tillë që të jenë miqësor me natyrën, të jenë të përgjegjshëm, se e ardhmja e globit është në dorën e tyre. Nëse arrim të edukojmë këtë gjë në bankat e shkollës, e sigurt që do kemi një natyrë më pozitive, më të mirë, më paqësore me njerëzit, dhe do kemi njerëz më të mirë që është gjëja më kryesore. Një falënderim shumë i madh për grupin e No Teachers, për të gjithë koordinatorët që janë lodhur dhe kanë bërë këto gjëra kaq të bukura, kaq të mëdha, ku njëshmëria e botës ndjehet që vjen në mënyrë të natyrshme. Ne duhet të luftojmë, ne si mësues duhet të luftojmë që të kemi njëshmëri në botë, të mos kemi ato dasit të cilat janë bërë sebeb, dasit fetare, dasit kufit, në fund të fundit, është një shprehje prapë e bukur, teologjike në mos gabofsha, që thotë bota është një qytet i vetëm dhe unë jam banori i saj. Pra ne duhet i rritim fëmijët tanë me këtë ndjesi. Ne jemi qytetarë të një vendi të vogël. Ne jemi qytetarë të një qyteti të madh që është globi, që është toka. Jam shumë mirënjohëse që jam pjesë e panelit. Faleminderit.
Thank you, Lindita. Thank you so much. I understood perfectly well, and what I couldn't understand, I'll ask Rita later on to translate it to me. So we still have time, and the student session is due also in 15-20 minutes, but you have all the time until you can be here. So I'll be directing questions and taking questions from students for very, very, very special guest tonight, Rita Jiri. We recently had the pleasure of hosting Shanice Palacio, Miss Universe, current Miss Universe in New Delhi. So we were asking her the same questions, how they are using their power, their crown, and their all the glitter and glamour that they get along with the crown, how to support the causes that is very, very essential for all of us together, for you, for us, for everybody together. So Ananya Khurana, can you introduce yourself and ask a question from Drita if you have one?
Right, sir. Hello, everyone. My name is Ananya Khurana, and I'm currently in grade 12th. So my question to Drita ma'am first. First of all, of course, ma'am, I'm honored to have you here. Everybody is honored to have you here. Your presence is quite graceful and quite enlightening to us. My question to you is, you mentioned that having the best mental mindset is the most important. So what hard thought realization led you to this conclusion?
Well, look, Albania is a very small country, and we're still a developing country. Even if you search it up, that's what comes up. And I thank God have had a very supporting family. They supported my dreams, they supported my desires. I've traveled around since I was very young, so I was able to see different worth ethics. I was able to see how the earth works in different places, and I came to realization that in some places, people actually have understood the importance, they know how to do it, and sometimes they have the right sources, sometimes they're willing to find the right sources. And then you have other places who don't have the right aspects, they don't have the right facts, and they don't really see it or accept it, what's happening. So they live in this imaginary idea of everything is going to be all right because some people are going to take care of it, not understanding that those some people starts from you. That's how I came into the realization that you should try to train or try to see things in a different spotlight. You should try to have a different mindset, to have a healthy mindset, a healthy body, in order for you to give it your all to have a healthy earth. So, because everything starts from people, people were the one that brought us here, and people are going to be the ones to improve it, to make it better, and hopefully how it once was.
Right, ma'am. Thank you. I had just one more follow-up question. That
Yes.
you mentioned that people are the ones who will bring the change in the world. So, as people, as the youth currently, how do you suggest that we can contribute in battling the mental health issues and be the positive change we all aspire to be, at least?
Mental health is it's a very sensitive topic. It's something that to many people have changed their lives in a bad way, and some people who had the right people besides them, went through it, lived it, but they are stronger than ever now, and they give advices to other people who are going through it. Mental health is something important, and thank God now people are coming to the realization that mental health is not something that, oh, I'm just sad, or I haven't hang out with my friends or something like that. But it's something important that happens in someone's mind because of different things. Sometimes it's childhood trauma, sometimes it's family trauma, sometimes it's being afraid to be connected with society, and very, very other different things. So whatever I can suggest and whatever we can do as a society is bringing the idea that, asking for help is not wrong, is not embarrassing, should not be embarrassing, and should not be seen as it. Asking for someone to help you figure out what's going wrong should not be something for you to keep hidden or try to do it in secret. As long as we bring this concept, this mindset to the society, people are going to start coming out and saying that, look, I have this problem. I have anxiety. I have depression. I cannot do this because it gives me this feeling where I cannot express myself. But as long as we bring the mindset that nothing's embarrassing, it's not embarrassing to ask for help. It's not embarrassing to say, I don't know this. Can someone explain it to me? Because life is long and short at the same time. We should not have time to be embarrassed about stuff that are normal, and we should not be embarrassed about stuff that we can learn if we're willing to. That's my advice, and that's what I would say to everyone who's battling and facing such hardships. It's very hard, but hopefully, if you have the right people besides you, you're going to go through it and you're going to be better than ever and stronger than ever.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Very sage advice. Lovely interacting with you.
Thank
Wow,
you so much for your question. Such a lovely person.
that's a great answer, and it's very complicated. How difficult life is after you won the crown, because people expect you to know everything and answer everything.
Absolutely. It's actually true. Everyone expects me to know everything and be ready for everything. But I think that's the fun part and that's the enjoyable part. I'm not ready for everything. I'm just going with the way, going with the flow. I'm learning new things along the way. My main goal for me being in Vietnam as a contestant, just as a delegate, not as a winner, was to learn as much as possible. Because for me, I had never been in Asia before. It was my first time in Asia, my first time in Vietnam. So all I was willing to do is get as much as I could from the culture, from the people, and learn as much as I can from the Miss Earth organization. We went and we visited waste pollution management and everything else, and all of these little things that I learned from heard something and memorized it. When I come into my country, I share it with people who have the power to, start something or fund something. That's what I went there from. So me winning the crown, trust me, it was so unexpected. And it was not unexpected because I did not believe in myself or because we did not work, not only me, but my parents, firstly, and the whole Delhi Art organization and Miss Priya organization. They whole worked with me because they trusted me. And I was so blessed to have this trust from them and the support, but I never had the pressure from them that I should win a title or I should get something. Never. It was enjoy yourself, enjoy your time, and go there and be you and do you. And that's how I won. It was unexpected. And everything that I'm doing now is unexpected, but in a good way. I'm learning new things, and everyone who's around me is learning new things. And I see everything that way. It's not embarrassing not to know. What I feel like is embarrassing is knowing that you can learn more and know more and gain knowledge, but refusing to do so.
Thank you. And they never had an Albanian as we saw before.
No, we actually in Albania we never had a winner from the four big pageant events. So it was the first time. It was really an historical moment in a way. I was so touched. I was shaking on stage, and then I got off. I went to the hotel room after everything, and I talked to my parents, and I talked to the head of the organizations here in Albania, and everyone was so proud, and just seeing their proudness in their eyes and everything. Then I saw everything that I could achieve if you have the right people beside you. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy and blessed with what I have right now, and really grateful.
Thank you. I'll add one student has been raising his hand for a long time. Swastik, you go on, please.
Yes, sir. I want to know that how were you being motivated in the hard times, like when you were struggling to get the award or like going there. So, like, what was the part or what was the like thing that motivated you?
I always say that at the end of the day, who you really have to have your back is you. I, of course, went through hardships and hard times. I was a ballet dancer. I started dancing since I was 3 years old. But then before high school, I had an accident. I had to take 2 operations and everything. And I had come to the realization that I cannot do ballet anymore. And that hit me really hard. And it was something that put me down in a moment, but then I said, no, I choose to take control of my life, of what I'm going to do, and of who I'm going to be. Going through hardships, the only thing that's going to take you through it's yourself, and sometimes just living it. If you're going to be sad, if you're going to be angry, if you're going to be frustrated, then you live those emotions, but you don't let those emotions live with you all your life. You have them at those maybe a day, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, but then you say, okay, stop. I lived through it. I learned my lesson. I know what I can do better, and I know how I can change my direction of life.
Good.
Thank
You
you.
speak
Thank you
so
very
well.
much.
You speak so well.
Thank you so much. I think it's because I always enjoyed learning new languages. I feel like it connects me with people. And I'm not saying when I say learning new language, knowing the whole grammar thing, just some small sentences. And when I go to countries and I say this to the local people, they're just so happy and so grateful and just want to teach me more. So that's why I really love, learning languages, and it's something of mine.
What does your mom teach?
My mom is a elementary school teacher. If I said that right. She teaches us from grade 1 to grade 5. And then she does like all Albanian language, math, biology, education.
Good. Okay, I have one more student here. Kavya, go on, please.
Yes, sir. Greetings, my name is Kavya, and I want to ask is, you had such an harmful phases of life, but what was the one motivating thing that motivated you faster to be part of Miss World Prison?
So before I joined the Miss Earth pageant, I was a contestant at Miss Shqipëria, my national pageant. I won that one, and then I went to the Miss Globe to represent my country. I didn't win at that one. I won second runner-up, and I was so sad. I was crying, but it only lasted like 40 minutes, and then I was good, okay. Because I did ballet, I'm a very ambitious person. So if I'm going to do something, I really put in my work, I put in my time, my hours, my sleep, everything. So I get sad when I don't win it. So I just need like a 30 minutes to express my feelings, to let those out so they don't live with me, as I said before. And then after that, I'm like, what did I learn from this experience? I learned this, and that. If and another time in the future I want to do something like this again, I know I have a backup that I learned from. I have an experience to go back and look what I did wrong, what I did right, what I can improve, and what is good. So when they told me that they had the Miss Earth franchise, because it's the first time Albania has been there before, but not from my organization, from another organization. So it was the first time they sent someone from my organization, and it was after the national pageant. So they said, Rita, do you want to join? And I was like, oh, is that a question? Just tell me, when do I go? But of course, I had the fear of losing again. But I said to myself, is really losing something going to make me lose this experience? No. So what motivated me was seeing this thing from different perspectives. If I don't win, it's okay. I meet new people. I have friends from all over the world. I've seen Vietnam. I visited the most beautiful spots in Vietnam. So am I really losing? You know, if you put that yourself in that positive, cherishful, joyful mindset, then you're gonna find the right ambition. And of course, I had my dad and my mom telling me that, look, you're gonna enjoy it, and we're gonna be proud of you, whether you win or you lose in a way. So that's what my ambitions was.
Very nice story, and very best wishes for your life ahead.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
one question per student, because we have lots of students waiting here. So I'm so sorry to interrupt her. Thank you, Kavya. And I think we can take one or two more questions. Then the students.
Rajiv,
Yeah.
Rajiv, I just want to, sorry to interfere, because I knew Gwen, she is the teacher from Taiwan, and she saw me. She want to listen to Miss Earth, and then she's waiting there. It's almost like midnight here. It's almost like 12:29. She's just
Okay.
waiting.
Can you pin her on the screen?
She is there on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, so Gwen, do you have any questions? Because I knew you were waiting for her this midnight. Okay.
Yeah. So
Gwen, you are as beautiful.
thank you. I think so since you talk about mental health and then being mindfulness, right? So I'm teaching PHE middle school year. So how do you? I think your opinion about it, it is more appropriate for like adults like us, or let's say young adults. So how do you give opinion, or how do you deal middle school year students who's also dealing with something, behavioral issues, or let's say
special abilities, for example. My mom's a teacher, as I said, and she chooses sometimes to work with children with special abilities. And it takes a different kind of method. My mom did a lot of courses, took a lot of classes in order to know how to deal with their feelings and how they express themselves. And I've noticed one thing or two is that honestly, all you have to do with kids is find their way. They're so different from one another, and they all have so much to give, so much opinion, so much thought. But the thing is that they don't know how to lie. They are so pure, their thoughts are so clean, and everything, it's so simple with them if you really find the right connection. I think God have a very good connection with children, but sometimes, of course, I have kids who I take to plant trees, for example, and they cry and they say, no, I don't want to get my dirty clothes there, or I'm gonna make my hands dirty, I'm not gonna wash them, I'm gonna touch my hair and stuff like this. And I'm like, is your mom gonna yell you if you do your clothes dirty? And yeah. I'm like, well, then we can wear gloves, or we can be more careful, we can do that, I think it takes a lot of communication, sometimes so much that even you might get frustrated in a moment, but it's just a lot of frustration to deal with, and then be like, okay, we're gonna do this from the beginning. It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience to deal with kids, but I think it's beautiful once you find their language, once you find the way to deal with them, it becomes more easy. But of course, to share thoughts and opinions with children, those opinions need to be very attractive. They need to be fun, they need to be attractive, in order not only for them to do them, but also to remember them and wanting to do them again. So I think I've learned a lot from my mom, since she chooses to deal with kids with special abilities, who I think are such unique human beings and really smart in their own ways. And it's really amazing. And I'm very amazed to see how they process the earth, how they process this thing that we call living. So I've learned a lot from her and I keep learning from her. But of course, sometimes you deal with difficult situations with kids that are called difficult, but they're really just harder to break the barrier with.
Thank you so much. Can I ask one more question?
No, Gwen, I'm
Yes,
so
of
sorry because there are 3 kids waiting. We're
Oh,
cutting
sorry.
late to this. And I think Drita is a very good speaker. I can see it. And we really need an entire day long session, and be free one day to have interaction with these students. You are
Thank you
really
so
good speaker.
much.
I just compliment you on that. So Gwen, I'm so sorry because these kids are waiting and we'll have 3 quick questions. Restrict the questions to very short one because Rita will give you a long answer. So Devina, Sambhavi, and Prasasti
Okay,
in that order.
I
Devina,
promise I'll try to give a short answer.
no, it's okay. I love you talking. It's very good and very to the point. But we'll maybe invite you for an entire day long session. So
Yes.
Devina, Sambhavi, and Prasasti in that order. Devina,
Yes, sir.
very
Thank
quickly.
you. Good evening, ma'am. I wanted to ask that because the fashion industry and the textile industry take a lot of carbon footprints. So how do you link sustainability with and minimalism? So how do you manage the clothes because the fashion industry also consumes water and carbon footprints?
I'll just add on to that question, and there's no short answer to that. Fashion industry is one of the most polluting industries in the world, the most cruel industries rather. But anyway, I hope that you're aware it takes a long session. So go on, please.
It is true, actually. The fashion industry is one of the industries who pollutes our earth the most. And I do think if you watched the Miss Earth pageant the year that I was in last year, the Europe continent did the Eco Project, and we actually was our cause. Not fast fashion, because fast fashion is making our earth progression worse. So I think what we can do is secondhand clothes. Like buying secondhand clothes is important. It's cheaper in a way, and it does not promote fast fashion. There are many brands who do this stuff, and they have a lot of international models posing and modeling for them in order for them to have a lot of audiences watching their products. I think that if we bring in attention to the social media, because social media is very strong right now. So if we want to bring the attention of people somewhere, we have to do it through social media. If we bring it by the way that they do these products, how do they manage to keep putting out so much product, so much clothes, and some of them go to waste because some people are interested in just one type of thing, and some people just don't find one thing as good as the other, and all this waste goes to our oceans and to our earth. So we just need to put the attention of people in the way that these products are made and what these products are costing our life, our healthy life.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
next question from Prasasti. Are you there?
Sir. Namaste, ma'am. I'm Prashasti Pandit from the Sri Ram Universal School, Greater Noida West, and I would like to ask, how do you manage your studies with your modeling career, as it's difficult to manage them both? So I was just curious to ask, as you're also a young girl, I would say.
Yeah. It is not easy, definitely. I'm very glad that you asked this question. As of today, I had planned this meeting in the morning, and then they told me I have an exam and I had to go get the exam. But I had a lot of other things planned. To this day, I was very busy and I'm very tired right now. I haven't eaten yet because I had so much to do, and school takes a big part of my life. And as I said, my mom's a teacher, so she really does not allow me to neglect school. But even now, I've understood the importance of school and being schooled, so I don't neglect it myself. And it's really just trying to balance everything out. This is very important. Miss Earth is very important for me right now, this title, and having, my reign as a Miss Earth. So school has definitely, I'm going to be very realistic, has definitely been a bit hard. It hasn't been easy for me balancing both. I've had some problems when I came back from Vietnam because I missed a month of school. But overall, I've done it this year. I have 3 more exams left and then I'm done. Hopefully everything will be going well. And yeah, it's honestly just fitting the times, going with the flow, seeing if I can go this day, if I can go this day, if I can let my jobs be in the weekend, and then during weekdays I can go in school. It's about managing out, so my manager helps me on that too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prashasti. And I think last question from Sambhavi. She is
Yes,
one of
sir.
our own beauty queens.
Yay. Wait, I cannot see her.
Can you see her now?
No.
Sambhavi, speak Sambhavi, at least you can be heard.
Yes, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, now I can see her.
So, ma'am, I'm Shambhavi Chaudhary. I'm a student of class 8. And my question for you is that what advice would you like to give to individuals and young children who want to make some actions for which will have a great impact on the environment?
So I have a younger sister, for those who don't know, she turns 12, and she also has asked me this question. She said, I'm not old enough to go and win a beauty pageant and have a big platform to do very important stuff, but I'm only a young kid who goes to school, who have fun, who stays with his family, with his parents. And I'm like, yeah, but you do have friends at school, right? And she's like, yes, I do. Then why, when you go to a school event, why don't you sometimes suggest that your school event is to plant trees? Or maybe invite someone who has interest and who has a lot of knowledge on the topic of pollution or sustainability to come and do an open class and talk with you guys about it. And she said, oh, I've never thought it this way. And I was like, right? So I think everything starts within the school. Some schools do this themselves, but you're always allowed and always free to suggest to your school that, you're capable of doing something even when you're young. You're capable of studying, you're capable of learning new things, and you're capable of doing small actions as planting trees on your backyard, learning how to do it in school and then doing it in your home, and then sometimes not supporting brands who that they're not sustainable or they do stuff that harm the environment. So that's how everything starts. You cannot do big things, but it's never meant to be big things, big change. It takes some small actions for a big improvement in the future.
Drita, your phone orientation has changed. It is upside down now. I think it's because of
Yes, okay, let me try to fix it.
just like the planet gone topsy-turvy.
Is it good now?
No, you change it to rotate it.
I'm trying to do that. How about now?
No, it's gone just the other way around. Okay,
Now?
that's better.
Okay.
You get an
Okay.
Android. iPhones are the problem. Okay. So I have one speaker from Albania. She's dying to talk to you. But can you share one thing? Who was your roommate during this Earth pageant?
So we actually were in separate rooms, so each girl had a room. But when we went to Dalat, I was with Miss Denmark.
Okay, good. So I put HP on the screen. She is dying to talk. You see has similar hairs than yours. Go on, please.
Good evening, everyone. My best congrats to the real pride of Albania. Thank you very much, Drita, for being the lady you are. I'm really proud of having an Albanian representative like that who presents and transmits really beautiful core values for the young generations. And in fact, I wanted you to come up with 3 basic core values that you want to transmit to the young learners today so as they can shape up their future and personality based on real values and based on what the real generation of the future asks for and requires. I know you are, it looks like you are a it looks like you are a real lady that likes to share and care about stuff. I'm so proud of that. I have to respect that a lot and set my admiration on it. I'm so happy that the organization of this is endorsing your figure and your achievement on core values for the future. Well organized. Congrats to everybody. And please, Drita, show up that you are the real beautiful lady of a teacher, a daughter of the real teacher, by raising awareness on making use of education. Because to my point of view, education is the key. Congratulations to even Delina. I liked her questions and her smart ideas about changing the world. And the remark I really wanted to set on today, Drita, is beautiful ladies and images like you transmit a lot for the future. Because when you encourage little kids to plant trees, you encourage them to be to be at the same place with the nature and protect it, but not to wear gloves. Because gloves encourage what? Buying plastic, making use of plastic. So please be careful on such issues. I wish you could take care more about every detail. I'd like to invite you, Drita, and everybody else to come to schools, even to the classes of your mom, and even to my school, and raise awareness and make use of your positive role model to encourage young learners on how to become successful citizens in the future and citizens who love nature above all. Thank you.
So,
Thank you. I thought you were going to ask a question. Thank you so much. We are
yeah,
getting
it was
into
about
time.
the tree.
I made it definitely clear. It wasn't a question. Sorry.
So when I say planting trees with gloves, I'm raised in a household with my grandma. So she has a big, big garden and she plants tomatoes, cucumbers, and everything else. And we have trees and stuff. So she does use these gloves, but not plastic ones, cloth ones that you can put and wash them and dry them and reuse them. So that's what I meant. And I think that it's very right that education is the key, especially when it comes to young minds. But I think that if they also hold respect, love, determination, and consistency, because without consistency, there's not much you can achieve, because you cannot work for something for 2 months and expect for it to be a beautiful thing at the end. You have to work harder and harder, and every year more, in order for you to see the fruits of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Drita. Thank you so much. And we are now cutting into students' time. They have a session, 5-hour long session to discuss things among themselves. They have little presentations to make. And I know that you have to make 4 exam tomorrow also, I guess, a day after. Okay.
Yes,
So you study, but before you go.
I have 2 tomorrow, and then I have others next week, and then I have a show to host. So I'm packed.
Yes, yes. Never mind. We will engage you some other day for a longer session. But before you go, we would like to show you one of the theme songs that we use and compose using artificial intelligence. So can I request JK sir to play V1 track, and then we can sign off Drita for tonight. And thank you so much. And thank you, Miss Earth Foundation, for being with us as always. JK sir.
In a world so big, we often feel small, but together we can make a difference, standing tall. With every step we take, we're creating change, and now's the voice that echoes through the range. Rise up, let's make a stand for the earth and all its wonders. Hand in hand with the future, we hold the key. Together we can save the world, you and me. Ooh, yeah. Through the power of knowledge, we so big, real small, but together we can make a difference, standing tall. With every step we take, we're creating change, and now's the voice that echoes through the range. Rise up, let's make a stand for the earth and all its wonders. Hand in hand we're the future. We hold the key. Together we can save the world, you and me. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I really want to thank you guys for having me, and I really enjoyed our time talking and all the questions from all the students. I hope you also have enjoyed your time with me.
I'll catch you again sometime. I'll compliment Peachy Lorraine for selecting a very good candidate for this year at least.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
So, JK sir, can you come online?
Yes, that was
Start your camera. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Lindita is here. She's gone. Thank you, HP from Albania. Is a beautiful presentation, and we have an Albanian dance also that Lindita sent me a few days ago. We'll try to show it sometime during the show. Now the session belongs. We already eaten. There are 20 minutes of time, so there are almost 50 students will be now presenting making their presentation from between now till 3 o'clock Indian time. They have 4 and 5 hours, and the session is conducted by Ronnie Anthony, Barvinder Kaur, and other students from 4 or 5 schools, and they have been working at it for almost 20 days now, training with their sessions and making whatever little bits they can contribute. So I'll be handing over to Ronnie, and I'll be signing off for a few hours, and I'll rejoin you at 3 o'clock Indian time, 5:30 New York time, when our American and Mexican guest will be with us. So Ronnie sir, over to you. JK sir and
Okay.
I are kicking off, and thank you everybody else who is in the session. Students, all the best, all of you, all the best, because you
Good.
really work very hard, and please feel free to engage in conversation with you, without you, whatever you want to. Your young minds need to explore what is inside it. Okay, don't be fearful. Take action.
Ronnie Vatsal is a host now.
Okay, got it.
Barminder is also co-host, so she can mute, unmute, and she can also do the thing. And Barminder, you can be in touch, like through WhatsApp. So thank you very much, and then catch you at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And we have little videos. The list is with the technical team. They have the videos. Just already, it doesn't get boring. We have lots and lots of very useful videos, messages from all around the world. You can play it in between. So Ronnie sir, over to you.
Yes, let's start our real act now action. Okay, we be planning for this one now. It's truly in charge of the student. Okay, so we need to show the world that we can control it, we can run the
This
show,
is the most
okay?
important session of all the 8 sessions, I must tell you.
Yeah. This is the one run by students, okay, and we will be here just as a advisor, or anything goes wrong, we'll be there, okay? So I need to welcome the students Barminder, Arya, and Mahi. So they will be the students moderator, and they will be helping you all around in this long session. And be patient. If you need to take a break, please take a break and be back. And drink enough water. I know Delhi is really hot, so please make sure you have water nearby you. And let's share our ideas to the world. Yes, Swasti. Let's share the ideas to a world. Relax. Don't worry. Don't freak out. No pressure. Okay, we will help you. If anything goes with a network connection and thing, we will figure it out the way. Okay, just share the world, and we can start it. Okay, so Birmingham.
Ronnie, I just wanted to add, these students, I know they'll be very tired and they'll be wanting to sleep after 3 o'clock, but that is a mandatory time till 3:15. After that, you are expected to stay on, because there are some very cool guests who will be joining from United States, Mexico, and from United Nations again at in the morning sessions tomorrow. So it's a nice presentations. If you can, just get a coffee. Coffee is through Sambhavi from Muradabad. Take your coffee, because it's only few hours to go, and then you can rest for the entire summer vacation. Good night.
Okay, take a break. Okay, I just said, okay, he also need a break. So Ramin there, Okay, now it's our turn, Verminda. Okay, take it away.
Thank you, sir. As we know, the earth has enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not to feed into every man's wants. As we know, the population of our beautiful planet that we call the earth has crossed a whopping 8 billion in number. The earth seemingly chokes on plastic, carbon emissions, and pollution. Climate change, rising sea levels, global warming, pollution, loss of nature, and biodiversity. With the evolution of mankind, there has been considerable degradation of nature. But while the population increases, so does the number of young people at a whopping 1.2 billion. So now I would like to invite upon all of our youth speakers who have been scattered into schools and educational institutions all over India to add their voice, actions, commitments, youthful insights, and vivid ideas to our official student session. Greetings to all of our live viewers, participants, guests, and speakers. I am Barminder, your student session moderator from ACT Now for today. I will be moderating these sessions with the help of my colleagues Ara Chauhan and Mahi Sood. So, today we have students spanning over different schools from all across India, including the Modern School ECNCR, the Sri Ram Universal School, the DPS Greater Faridabad, Graz International School, Springfields School, and the Das and Brown World School, India. So, with that being said, let us welcome our first youth speaker onto the floor. So the first speaker we have here is Arna Bhatia from the Modern School.
Greetings all, am I audible?
Yes.
So I am Arna Bhatia from the Modern School, grade 8th, and I'm an active ACT Now member for the past year. So my topic for the presentation is land degradation, and I think I can share the screen. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start. Land degradation and sustainability. Did you know that we lose 24 billion tons of fertile soil each year due to just land degradation? What do you think that means for our future? What is basically land degradation? Degradation is the process by which the value of the land is affected by human activities, leading to a decline in productivity. There are many causes of land degradation. Deforestation for agriculture or urbanization is a major driver of land degradation. Erosion and climate change are natural causes of land degradation. Deforestation, overgrazing, and industrial activities are the human activities which cause land degradation. Effects of land degradation are many. Environmental impact of land degradation include loss of biodiversity and water scarcity. Economic impact is including reduced agriculture productivity and increased poverty. Social impact is also a major effect of land degradation. Food insecurity and displacement of communities are included in social impact of land degradation. Sustainable solutions. Implementing sustainable farming practices can significantly reduce land degradation. Crop rotation and agroforestry, precision farming, and use of organic fertilizers. These are all sustainable solutions. Land management policies and reforestation programs are policy measures that are taken as sustainable solutions. Land management policies are basically essential for the sustainable use and preservation of land resources. Effective land management ensures that land resources are used efficiently and responsibly, supporting economic growth while protecting the environment. Policies often include measures to protect natural habitats, biodiversity, and water resources. This can involve the designation of protected areas such as national parks and wildlife reserves, and regulations to limit pollution and land degradation. Personal actions that we can take, every small action counts. From choosing sustainable products to participating in local conservation efforts, we can all make a difference. Individual choices that we take as young environmentalists, sustainable consumption, and supporting eco friendly products. Community involvement is also important, such as participating in local conservation projects. Why we need to act now? The environment where we all meet, where we all have a mutual interest, it is the one thing all of us share. We do not we are not just inheriting the earth from our ancestors, but we are also borrowing it out from our younger generations. The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will come and save it. Sustainability can only be achieved by working together and acting now. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Arna. Up next, we have our next youth speaker, that is Ananya Khurana from DPS Greater Faridabad.
Right. Am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah. Just let me share my screen. Give me a second, please. Is my video still visible?
Your video is no longer visible, but we can see your screen.
Right. So for the time being, my screen will only be visible. It's some setting in Zoom. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it.
No issues.
Right. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Ananya Khurana. Currently, I'm in grade 12, and recently only I've joined the Act Now group, and I'm grateful to do so. So I will be starting with my presentation. My topic is saving land, pollination, and rewilding. Right. So first we come to biodiversity. Over the last 2 centuries, increased human activities has resulted in a massive loss of biodiversity across the globe. Species extinction rates are currently 1,000 times higher than background levels, and it is estimated that overall terrestrial biodiversity has declined by 25% between 1970 and 2000 alone. Biodiversity has inherent intrinsic values and plays a key role in the functioning of ecosystems. As such, the reduction in the species richness will have negative consequences for ecosystems in terms of stability and overall functionality. In an effort to preserve and limit the loss of existing biodiversity, several new conservation approaches have been introduced. Rewilding is one of these proposed management strategies, which has gained recent traction with scientists, governments, and among the general public. Now, the question comes, why rewilding? Rewilding is an ecological restoration strategy that aims to reintroduce and restore natural processes and missing species to degraded ecosystems, thereby enhancing biodiversity and ecosystem health. Rewilding, boon for the ecosystem. First of all, we come to trophic cascades. By reintroducing apex predators, rewilding can restore trophic cascades, where the presence of top predators regulates the population of herbivores, which in turn affects vegetation and the entire food web. For example, the reintroduction of wolves to Yellowstone National Park in the USA has led to a decrease in the elk populations, allowing vegetation to recover, which benefits other species and improves the overall health of the ecosystem. Pollination and seed dispersal. Rewilding often includes reintroducing animals that are key pollinators or seed dispersers. This helps in the regeneration of plant communities, which supports a wider range of biodiversity. Habitat creation. By restoring natural habitats and processes, rewilding creates environments where a variety of species can thrive. This increases species richness and biodiversity. Right. Coming on to carbon sequestration. Rewilding can enhance carbon sequestration by promoting the growth of forests and other vegetation that absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, thus helping mitigate climate change. Genetic diversity. Rewilding can help maintain and increase genetic diversity within species populations, making them more resilient to diseases and environmental changes. Water regulation. Healthy ecosystems regulate water cycles more effectively, reducing the risk of floods and droughts. Vegetation restored through rewilding can improve water infiltration and storage in the soil. Adaptive ecosystems. By enhancing biodiversity and restoring natural processes, rewilding creates more resilient ecosystems that can better adapt to changing climate conditions. Diverse ecosystems are generally more stable and can recover more quickly from disturbances. Natural buffers. Rewilded areas can act as natural buffers against extreme weather events, reducing the impact on human settlements and agricultural lands. Now, we come to rewilding and pollination. Rewilding and pollination are deeply interconnected processes that together enhance ecosystem health and resilience. Rewilding involves restoring natural habitats and reintroducing native species, which in turn provide essential resources like food, shelter, and breeding sites for pollinators such as bees and butterflies. Thus, rewilding and pollination reinforce each other, promoting resilient, diverse, and sustainable environments. This habitat restoration increases biodiversity, offering a continuous food supply that supports a variety of pollinator species. Rewilding also enhances climate resilience by fostering diverse ecosystems that can better withstand environmental changes. Both processes offer cultural, aesthetic, and economic benefits, as rewilded areas can become ecotourism attractions and pollination supports agriculture. These pollinators play a crucial role in maintaining ecosystem services by enabling plant reproduction, which supports both natural and agricultural systems. Additionally, healthy pollinator populations underpin the entire food web, benefiting a range of animals and contributing to the ecosystem stability. By coming forward, we come to the process of pollination. All right, imagine a flower as a busy marketplace. And inside this marketplace, there's a magical dance happening called pollination. This dance is crucial because it's how flowers make offsprings, which are seeds for new plants. Now, in this marketplace, there are two key players, the pollen and the stigma. Pollen is like tiny powdery dust, and it holds the male part of the plant's DNA. The stigma, on the other hand, is the female part, like a catcher's mitt waiting to receive the pollen. Here's how the dance goes. Pollen production. The flower makes pollen in the little pockets called anthers. Think of anthers as little factories churning out pollen grains. The second step, pollen transfer. Now, pollen needs to travel to a different flower for the magic to happen. There are two main ways this can happen. First, through wind. Some pollen grains are light and floaty, like little dandelion seeds. They ride the wind until they land on another flower. Another step is via animals. Other pollen grains hitch a ride on insects, birds, or even bats. These critters visit flowers or food, and as they move around, they unknowingly carry pollen from one flower to another. Pollen reception. Once pollen lands on a flower, it's like arriving at its destination. The stigma is there waiting, and it's the right kind of pollen, it sticks. Fertilization, the fourth step. Now that the pollen is on the stigma, it's time for the real magic. The pollen sends down a tiny tube to the flower's ovary, like a microscopic elevator. Inside the ovary, there's an egg waiting. When the pollen tube reaches the egg, they join forces. And voila! Fertilization happens, just like when a sperm meets an egg in the animals. Seed and fruit development. After fertilization, the flower's ovary starts to swell and becomes a fruit, protecting the seed inside. The seeds contain all the information needed to grow a new plant. And there you have it, the dance of pollination. It's a beautiful and essential process that keeps flowers blooming and plants growing all around us. So the question comes, why pollination? It helps in increasing abundance and diversity of pollinators. Conservation efforts can enhance the populations and variety of pollinating animals, particularly those targeted by specific initiatives. Second, boosting biodiversity of other taxa and habitats. By promoting pollinator diversity, conservation actions can indirectly increase the biodiversity of other species and improve the health of various habitats, enhancing fruits and seed production. For pollination, limited plant species facing pollination deficits, increased pollinator density can lead to higher fruit and seed production. This has been demonstrated globally for crops and wild plants, especially in areas of high species richness. Fourth, we come to benefiting insectivorous animals and natural enemies. Pollination benefits insectivorous animals by increasing insect populations and fostering biodiversity, which controls pests naturally, reducing the need for pesticides. Now, fifth, we come to supporting herbivorous animals. Increased fitness of animal pollinated plants and intentional provisions of floral resources for pollinators can benefit herbivorous animals, including those that consume the fruits and seeds. The last, we come to benefiting ecosystem processes. Enhanced pollination supports critical ecosystem functions, such as plant reproduction, which in turn influences primary production, nutrient cycling, water retention, and climate regulation. Urban habitats, opportunities for pollination conservation. First of all, we come to diverse plantings in green spaces. Urban environments often feature a variety of gardens, parks, and green roofs that host diverse plant species. This diversity supports different pollinators by providing a range of flowering plants that bloom at different times, ensuring a continuous food supply throughout the growing season. Creation of pollinator corridors. Urban planning can incorporate a green corridors that connect parks, gardens, and natural reserves. These corridors facilitate the movement of pollinators between habitats, promoting genetic diversity and aiding in the conservation of various pollen-dependent species. Urban agriculture. When we come to urban agriculture, community gardens, rooftop farms, and other urban agriculture initiatives increase the availability of flowering plants. These urban farming practices not only support food production, but also enhance the local pollinator population by providing additional foraging resources. Climate resilience. Urban areas can offer microclimates that protect pollinators from extreme weather events. Buildings and urban infrastructures can buffer temperature extremes, providing more stable environments for pollinators to thrive, even as climate conditions become more unpredictable. Restoring of native habitats. Many cities engaged in efforts to restore native habitats by planting indigenous species in public spaces. Native plants are particularly beneficial for local pollinators that have co-evolved with them, ensuring better support for the ecosystem. Innovative habitat solutions. Cities are experimenting with innovative solutions such as bee hotels or insect houses, which provide nesting sites for solitary bees and other pollinators. Green roofs and living walls also create additional habitats in densely built environments. Now we come to rewilding via pollination, reason for generation restoration. Now I will present to you a case study from Jabal Khet Nature Reserve in Uttarakhand. Jabal Khet Nature Reserve known as JNR as well, in Uttarakhand near Mussoorie was established over a decade ago by Dr. Sejal Vora and a Mumbai-based businessman. It aims to restore and rewild a 100-acre area, promoting conservation, sustainable tourism, and local livelihood development. The initial efforts focused on clearing garbage, removing invasive species, and convincing locals to regulate resource use. JNR promotes guided nature walks as its primary revenue source, led by trained local youth. Through conservation efforts, including creating water sources and protecting vegetation, wildlife has returned, including bears absent for 40 years. With limited marketing, JNR breaks even and had even generated a corpus during the pandemic. The local economy benefits from direct and indirect employment, including homestays, upgraded eateries, and taxi services. Villagers participate by offering services along trekking circuits, sharing tourist fees with the Ecotourism Committee. Visitors enjoy immersive nature experiences and real-time wildlife sightings. Through camera traps, the pandemic underscored the importance of low-impact tourism in supporting conservation efforts. Future plans include expanding the rewilded area and transitioning management to a local team. Right, now we come to the last slide. Rewilded ecosystems can help mitigate climate change by increasing carbon removal from the atmosphere and protect against climate change impacts by reducing soil erosion and flood risk. Also, I would like to conclude, rewilded ecosystems can also create socio-economic opportunities for local communities, reduce the effects of and costs associated with the environmental hazards such as flooding, and improve human health and well-being by improving access to nature. Thank you. That's all for now.
Thank you, Ananya. I think that was quite a unique insight on ecosystems. And now, next up, I'd like to present something. But before that, I'd like to ask everyone here a question. So, are you interested in learning more about the environment and, experimenting with it? Are you an ecologist? Or are you more of the kind of people who like to use their creative and STEM learning skills and apply it into business? Are you an entrepreneur? Well, what if I told you you did not have to sacrifice one for the other and you could just purely do both? Greetings, everyone. I'm Barminder, a young climate optimist from India, and today I'd like to talk about the topic ecopreneurship. So I'll just share my screen real quick and talk about something quite interesting, especially now here in the 21st century. So, ecopreneurship. Ecopreneurship is something that is quite literally all about fostering sustainable development through a blend of two things: entrepreneurship or business and ecology. Hence the word ecopreneurship. So first, if we get a quick overview at the contents of what this presentation is going to be all about, we're going to talk about the basics of ecopreneurship, a quick backstory at it, the significance and benefits of what this is all about, traits and features that help you detect a regular business from an ecopreneur-inspired business, the icebreaker to ecopreneurship, where we finally talk about practical solutions regarding this hefty term, and then we're going to take a look at some real-life role models who can inspire us to start more ecopreneur-inspired businesses. So let's jump right into it, a new Beyond Insight to ecopreneurship. Now, of course, the basics. So when we look at the definition, simplified, ecopreneurship is basically just the application of the principles that we have in entrepreneurship or business applied to create businesses that are friendly towards the environment. So either they could be solving environment-related conundrums or cataclysms, or they could be operating sustainably. Now, let's keep in mind the fact that sustainable development doesn't just refer to climate action or life on land and life below water, which are just three of the sustainability development goals. In fact, sustainable development is something that refers to even individual well-being, which means that ecopreneurship has to do with more than just the climate or the environment. Exciting, isn't it? So, ecopreneurship often talks a lot about innovation to attain sustainable growth by utilizing opportunities in the marketplace, especially now in the 21st century. The one motto or mantra that drives ecopreneurship is the meeting of our own needs without compromising those of future generations. Because at the end of the day, that is what hashtag generation restoration is all about. So while we also talk of ecopreneurship as environmental entrepreneurship or even eco-capitalism, it is based on gaining attraction as a new market-based strategy where people recognize that it is possible to earn profit from the environment. And when we talk about ecopreneurship, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is a blend or a relation between the public and the private sector. We're talking about businesses and entrepreneurs who are working in the private sector to target a much larger audience, an audience of masses in the public sector. Moving right ahead, we have a quick backstory to ecopreneurship. Now, I do completely fathom the fact that we may lack awareness sometimes about what this new concept is all about, but I know it could be quite astonishing, but this term has actually been around since the 1970s. So that's back when the Harvard Business Review published an article about the ecology movement. Soon in the 1980s, people realized that this could actually be profitable, and eventually, ecopreneurship came to be recognized very, very widely across the globe in 1989 when people realized the fact that businesses could start green to begin with and they did not have to go on greening their existence. And ever since the early 2000s and 1990s specifically, this term has been known as ecopreneurship. Moving ahead to what's happening in present-day business climate, ecopreneurship is often focused on and spotlighted, especially with a lot of big companies all around the world in different industries. However, it is often focused on as a small or minuscule niche. However, we must realize the fact that now we have a new generation of change makers and youth who are putting in pictures to create the entire puzzle, because we need to realize the fact that ecopreneurship is the very foundation of entrepreneurship and not the other way around. Moving ahead, let's talk about the significance of ecopreneurship. Why this? Why not regular businesses? So we have a couple of benefits of ecopreneurship, of course, and I'd like to talk about some of them while linking them to our sustainable development goals. So the first thing is the global population growth. As I rightly mentioned in the very beginning of this session, our global population has crossed a total of 8 billion people, which is a lot if we talk about it. And as the population grows, what ecopreneurs do is they also find ways to control birth rate and ways to meet food and shelter requirements of the people, because we need to make sustainability the easier and bare minimum for every single person on the planet, right? So we need to find ways to conserve energy, materials, and resources. We can directly link this benefit to the SDG goals of no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, and even gender equality, because it goes very well in sync with all of the individual well-being goals, as we're trying to make resources available for every single person, not only with respect to their immediate environment, but with respect to their general well-being. Talking of increasing life expectancy, we as ecopreneurs value life, not only of the people we know, but of the entire existence of humanity. Everyone has the right to live a long, healthy, happy life. Hence, what ecopreneurs often do with the mediums of their products is create healthier, and more cheaply available products or resources to help range a wider spectrum of audience. So this also once again syncs up with our SDG goals: clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, and decent work and economic growth, because we're trying to reach all sectors of society and provide good and clean energy for all. Then, of course, we have climate action. So the pollutants and effluents released in the air and the water with the use of fossil fuels, greenhouse gas emissions, and pollution dumping of waste into water bodies causes a lot of degradation to the planet. To sustain that, of course, ecopreneurship is something that is based completely on green sustainable practices, which lines up with SDG goals 13, 14, and 15, that is climate action, life below water, and life on land. Right. So, of course, there are more benefits of ecopreneurship. There are infinite, but we're just going to look at some of them. Then we have resource scarcity. As the population goes up, the resources go down, of course, and the natural resources are depleting and diminishing. So, ecopreneurs constantly look for other green alternatives to recycle resources or find cheaply more abundantly resources to replace the resources that are being used earlier. Right? So this once again aligns with a lot of SDG goals such as responsible production and consumption. And as I rightly mentioned at the beginning of the presentation too, that innovation and creativity, mottled ideas, and the participation of youth plays a closer role in ecopreneurship. So SDG goals like sustainable cities and communities and industry innovation and infrastructure can only be promoted if we come up with creative, green alternatives to the usual boring kind of ones that cause the degradation of our planet. Lack of equity in the world is once again a very major colossal conundrum, and people are living in absolutely cataclysmic, listless conditions all over the world, while some have the best quality of each of those things that others are completely devoid of. So, ecopreneurs do even work towards goals such as reduced inequalities and gender equality to promote these two SDGs and contribute towards the lack of equity in the world and help the underprivileged and deprived. With that being said, we are also, of course, going to talk about traits and features of ecopreneurship. How can you detect such businesses? So here on the screen, you see some basic characteristics. If we quickly go through them, the one foundation that lies at the base of all of this is the fact that we need to have green practices and green alternatives no matter what we do, whether it be on-site recycling or alternative chemical usage, compost bins, strategic tools, or new philosophies towards business. Ecopreneurship has to be based off of sustainability. And some unique ways to translate sustainability into the private sector, that is the icebreaker, include three things: sustainable design of the product, reduction of carbon emissions, and ecotourism. Right? So when we talk about sustainable design, there are a lot of ways to implement sustainable product design, which is the number one benefit of ecopreneurship, to maximize the utility of the resources and to use them to their maximum extent while causing as less of degradation of the planet as possible. So whether it be to use less or reusable packaging to take care of transportation needs, to minimize business travel, to use the right sources of energy, there are so many ways to implement sustainable product design in the ecopreneurship industry. Next up, we have ways to reduce the business's carbon footprint, which is, of course, there are endless ways to do this, but we need to first set reduction targets, and to meet them, there is a lot of things that can be done in between, from conserving water to offsetting the emissions of carbon, from using sustainable suppliers to regulating energy usage and business travel. Everything, no matter how minuscule, contributes to reducing the carbon footprint of every single business. And of course, ecotourism. Now, this is a completely different sect in ecopreneurship, and it is defined often as a responsible sort of tourism or green tourism that looks more at the well-being of local or marginalized communities. So, principles and benefits. So, when we look at ecotourism, For visitors, we're providing them unique and authentic experiences. And for local or marginalized communities, we provide them economic opportunities, promote conservation, and help preserve cultural heritage. Some principles could be guided development and implementation of ecotourism. We are responsible and sincere citizens like us who help promote this. Examples include wildlife viewing, bird watching, hiking, etc., which give us more authentic experiences to reflect an actual global reality. And of course, last but certainly not the least, in fact, I believe this to be the most inspiring, are some real life role models that we can all look at. Right? So for that, we have a couple of startups and some well successfully established businesses. We have Bamboo, which is actually an ecopreneurship inspired business from India itself, which is a leading sustainable packaging material supplier. So what they do is they use plant fibers and plant pulp to create eco-friendly and biodegradable solutions to packaging of food. And then we have Vitel, which is actually Germany's first all-round sustainable mobile network provider. It is climate positive, secure, transparent, and fair. So it won't steal your data. And lastly, we have Repack, which is a Finnish startup, and it's already super successful. It has developed a deposit scheme for online retailers to help cut on the packaging, which, of course, causes a lot of dumping in landfills due to the increased boom of online shopping nowadays. So once again, they're providing alternatives to plastic. So here are a couple of references that I took the data from. I hope this presentation helped you understand the fact that the degradation of the earth is not inevitable, and together we can prevent it if we act now. Thank you.
Thanks, Parminder. That was really good one. Okay.
Thank you, sir. And now I'd like to hand the floor over to the next speaker, which is Arpita. Over to you.
Audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you, sir. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes.
Changes are possible if you have the determination to create an empowering behavior to work towards it. Good evening to one and all present here. I am Arpita Sahani, the student of Tracks International School, Greater Noida, India, and I'm here to present plastic waste management with eco. We usually saw many plastic trash in our neighborhood, and that became a part of food for our animals and also the part for the pollution. Plastic plays an important role in our daily life. Do you know globally there is about 8.3 billion tons of plastic, in which 6.3 billion tons of that is trash, in which 9% of all plastic waste has been recycled, about 12% has been incinerated, while the remaining 79% has accumulated in landfill, dumps, or the natural environment. It is assumed that by 2050, there will be more plastic in our ocean than fish. Do you think it's okay? Absolutely no. Harming our ecosystem just to fulfill our needs, even though we know what our future will be after using excessive amount of it. It's absolutely not. Think different, think logical, be a part of solution, not a part for the pollution. How to get rid of it? To get rid of it, simply follow 6 R's. What is 6 R's? Rethink, challenge norms, envision anew for a future where sustainability rings true. Refuse to use single-use plastic. Reduce, embrace simplicity, consume consciously, lessen the burden on our Earth's resource. Reuse, give item new life, let creativity thrive, and diminish waste destructive thrive. Repair means what's broken, revive what's worn. For every fix, a new hope is born. Recycle, transform old into a new. a cycle of sustainability we pursue. Yes, rethink and recycle. When you refuse to reuse, it's the earth you abuse. Follow your duty to maintain Earth's beauty. We need to slow the flow of plastic as it soars, but we also need to improve the way we manage our plastic waste because right now a lot of it ends up in the environment. Now coming to the topic, are you aware about the concept of eco bricks? It's a much needed solution to the plastic pollution. Vinesh Desai on an eco-friendly brick made out of recycling the waste when he was 11. An eco brick is a plastic bottle densely packed with used plastic to create a reusable building block that achieves plastic sequestration. Let's understand the steps of making eco bricks. Step 1. Collect clean and dry single-use plastic at home. Step 2. Find a bottle with a lid. Step 3. Compress waste into the bottle. Step 4. Pack tightly throughout the process to ensure it is compressed. Step 5. Put the lid back on and your eco brick is ready to be built with. From waste to wealth. In such way, we can make many stuff from it. Our school itself organized many workshops for this, and the children used to create it, and then it is collected to the Jago Bharat team, who builds many things from it. The last time when we had this workshop, they were working on an eco brick toilet, which is in Delhi. Now it's a time for a poem. Plastic is useful, but it doesn't break down. It spent years and years just lying around. It litters our coastline and pollutes our seas. We need to stop using it. Will you help, please? Our oceans are full of such beautiful life, but the plastic encounter cows its strife. It wraps round their neck, their tail, and their fins. The animals die off, and then nobody wins. If we use less plastic, there will be less in the sea. Our marine life will thrive and live happily. So please use less plastic and think of this rhyme. Let's all save our ocean one piece at a time. The world will change by your examples, not by your opinion. So let's all come together to make our Mother Earth a beautiful place to live in, because tomorrow never comes, so act now. Thank you so much for giving me your valuable time.
Thank you, Arpita, for now including a new aspect and throwing some light even on marine life. So next up, we have our next youth speaker, that is Sana Chopra from the Modern School. Over to you, Sana.
Thank you. Greetings, everybody. My name is Sana Chopra, and I'll just be sharing my. Okay. Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greetings, everybody. My topic for today's presentation is how to deal with cloth waste. First, little introduction. Hello, my name is Sana Chopra, and I am a student of the Modern School ECNCR Delhi. I have been an active member of the ACNOW team for the past year, and my passion towards our environment is unwavering. Whether it's engaging in social activities like visiting NGOs or going to tree plantation drives, my commitment towards our environment has always been resolute. I am an actor, a dancer, and a passionate orator. Being an archaeologist and making a positive impact in our society is what is my true calling. And I'm a teen who loves to shop clothes. So recycling clothes has always been my top priority. Let me tell you a little backstory. An incident which made me even more conscious about cloth recycling. One day I was at my cousin's place. There I heard my uncle, who was searching for a pair of jeans, ask, "Where are my white colored jeans?" My aunt replied, "Oh, the white ones, I just threw them off yesterday because you've already worn it a few times." I was surprised by hearing this. I told my aunt that one jeans takes up 10,000 liters of water to be made. So if you have 5 jeans, that means you have 50,000 liters of water lying in your wardrobe. She was aghast. Damage that is being caused by apparel and textile waste. By 2050, the amount of solid waste that we make in cities is expected to be 70% more, reaching 3.4 billion metric tons. The textile production is estimated to be responsible for about 20% of global clean pollution from dyeing and finishing products. A single laundry load of plastic clothes can discharge 700,000 microplastic fibers that can easily end up in the food chain. The majority of microplastics from textiles are released during the very first few washes. And fast fashion is based on mass production, low prices, and high sales volume that promotes many such first washes. Consumers' as improper disposal of unwanted clothing releases carbon dioxide into the environment. The fashion industry's rapid pace in consumer culture contribute to a massive volume of textile waste. Clothing takes a long time to decompose, which anyhow results in overflowing landfills and the emission of harmful greenhouse gases. 97% of what goes into making new clothes is new resources, with only just 3% coming from recycling. That is about 98 million tons of inputs a year into the textile industry. That is why I say, because 3% of recycling equals to nothing when compared to the damage being caused to our earth. But again, what can we do about it? This is the thing that I've heard from most of the people. This is the thing that my aunt said when I told her about the damage that she was causing. Again, the answer to this is, of course, cloth recycling. Measures that we as an individual can take is donating clothes. Donating clothes to a charitable organization or local shelters is a very compassionate and kind choice. These organizations, they often distribute clothing to those who are in need, or they sell them to fund their missions. Thrift stores. Thrift stores play a vital role in textile recycling. They accept used clothing, and these items are typically resold at affordable prices, which extends the life cycle of the garment. So my parents have always taught me, a piece of trash is a piece of treasure for somebody else. That is the reason I've made cloth recycling a hobby of mine. One thing that everyone can do is limit our consumption. Consider whether you really need that new pair of jeans, a new t-shirt, or a pair of sandals. Also, before purchasing, ask yourself if you wear it for a minimum of 30 times. If the answer is no, then move on, forget about it, and move on with lighter heart and lighter carbon footprint. Thank you so much for lending me your ears and hearing my presentation. Now let's turn these ideas into actual action. Let's act now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sana. That was such an insightful presentation, especially considering we are all youth speakers and teenagers here. And now, Ronnie sir, can I please request you to play the video slotted for this session, and then we'll get back to our youth presentations. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Verminder, and it really, it's really great to listen to you guys. Okay.
I am because the nature is good.
Because the nature is good.
I am because the rain is pouring down.
Because the rain is pouring down.
I am because there is sunlight.
Because there is sunlight.
I am because I can breathe.
Because I can breathe.
The air is good and fresh.
The air is good and fresh.
I am
Because
there is preservations of trees.
because there is vision of trees.
The trees are good looking.
The trees are good looking.
I am because I can eat fruits.
Because I can eat fruits.
I can get flowers.
I can get flowers.
I am because I can step on the earth
Because I can step on the earth
proudly.
On this great day, February 3rd and the 4th in Delhi, as you celebrate International Day of Human Fraternity, sending you first my warmest greetings, success in this pop festival. as we do, as they do at my level as President of Timor-Leste in our own country, in the whole of the country, to preserve peace and human fraternity. So Dr. Pachauri and the Pachauri family is so dedicated to the legacy of the late Dr. Pachauri. Congratulations and thank you for hosting this event, Pop Festival on Human Fraternity and Human Security.
Namaste. First of all, I would like to congratulate and admire you for this very, very timely and important event. Protect our planet is not just a festival. It's a resolve we have to take back home. All of us know the problems, and therefore international community has pledged to ensure sustainability through Sustainable Development Goals. And there are 4 pillars of it. We have to ensure that how people are well protected, how planet is well protected, how prosperity grow and shared, and how peace is established and maintained. These are the 4 pillars of sustainability. But I know that how dedicated is Ash. I know his father has dedicated his life for the protection of planet, and he's taking forward his legacy. So I love him and I respect him as my own son, and I congratulate him personally.
I, as a mother, I drink a bottle of water and throw it. What will my child do? Do we instill the values of social integration and cohesion for the nature? Or do we leave it to the government? I throw the bottle of water, I pay tax. So it is the duty of the government to ensure that plastic water bottle is not there.
Social justice, freedom, functional democracy, and again, value systems which are transcending as one united family. That's what the compassion is all about. It is empathizing it more than sympathy, recognizing the pieces within yourself, recognizing that everything is internal, then comes external, isn't it? That's what our philosophy is all about, recognizing yourself, tattvam, realize yourself. And that's what the beauty of our character. Once you understand, you are the source of change, you are the source of transformation, you are transforming, adding value as a good citizen. A good person can create a good society.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تحياتي لحضراتكم جميعا وأهنئكم بهذا الحدث المهم الذي تنظمه مؤسسة بوب موفمنت من أجل الأخوة الإنسانية، من أجل تعزيز حركة مواجهة أخطار البشرية وخاصة التغير المناخي. ربط هذا التحدي الإنساني الخطير وهو تغير المناخ بأهمية الأخوة الإنسانية في عالم اليوم هو موضوع مهم للغاية. فأنا أشكركم على تنظيم هذا الحدث المهم الذي يجمع نخبة من العاملين والمتميزين وصناع الأمل في عالمنا.
And I looked around for inspiration, and I was so fortunate to find some senior mentors who were doctors who'd been working to get rid of nuclear weapons for many years at that point. So I became aware of this network, this international connection, this community, this family of doctors and medical students who cared so much about our planet that they didn't want it to be destroyed by the 12,500 nuclear weapons we have here in the world. And so they started to understand that these devastating weapons of mass destruction were actually a public health issue. And one of the things I have so enjoyed getting to know the POP movement is this understanding that all of these climate issues are health issues, and we can look at all of this through a public health lens.
Human Security for All is the name of a campaign that the Academy is conducting. We're doing this in partnership with the United Nations, with the pop movement, with a number of different organizations. So what exactly is this human security? What do we do? Basically, it is to put the human being in the center of development of all types, even technological development. What's the use of technology for technology's sake if they create more and more powerful devices that impact our mental health, even our physical health?
I was thinking that we must put together compassion and passion, because without passion we cannot act, we cannot do what we want, we cannot really impact in the world. Because with passion we can be really acting to protect our planet, like is the big goal of the pop movement, to protect our planet.
Climate change, there is some work, but the recognition of the serious nature of climate change and health is only very recent. The result is that we don't have any information. There is no data, data are not available. If data are not available, you cannot act. Now, climate change seriously impacts mental health. It affects mental health directly and indirectly, resulting in mental illnesses and suicidal mortality.
Climate and health is deeply interconnected. It is the relationship between Earth's climate and the well-being of individuals and communities.
I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. The taxi is waiting, it's blowing its horns. Already I'm so lonesome I could die. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you wait for me. Hold me like you live or let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet So many times I've let you down. So many times I've played around. Movimiento! Movimiento! Every song I sing for you. Every time I think of you. Oh, when I come back, I'll wear your wedding ring.
Right.
Come back.
Thank you, sir. That was a magnificent video, and I'm so glad we're getting to share our partnerships and initiatives with all of our live audience and, of course, our participants and speakers. So, next up, the youth speaker that we have is Anirvinya Jaiswal. So, could you please take up your presentation now? Thank you.
I hope that my screen is visible.
Yes.
So good evening, everyone. I am Anirvina Jaiswal from Braz International School, Greater Noida, India. And today I will be presenting a presentation on waste segregation. So firstly, let me share that how the idea of segregation came to my mind. I observed many people in my neighborhood indiscriminately disposing of waste, prompting me to suggest that we should use specific types of dustbins for different types of waste. Now, what is waste? Waste can be defined as unwanted and unusable materials, often regarded as having no value. Having understood what waste is, now let's delve in the process of waste segregation. So, waste segregation is a process in which the waste elements are separated into different kinds of dustbins to ensure efficient waste management and high quality and recovery of high quality materials. Next, let's discuss the types of waste. Waste can be classified into two main categories, biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. So, biodegradable waste includes items like vegetable and fruit peels, food waste, paper waste, and remains of dead animals. And ahead, non-biodegradable waste includes recyclable materials such as plastic, paper, glass, metals, etc. Toxic waste such as old medicine, paints, chemicals, bulbs, spray cans, etc. Soil waste such as hospital waste, such as cloth soiled with blood and other body fluids. To facilitate waste segregation, we use color-coded waste bins. Blue dustbins are for non-biodegradable or dry waste, green for wet and biodegradable waste, yellow for recyclable materials, and red for domestic hazardous waste such as biomedical waste. Furthermore, responsible waste management follows a hierarchy: reduce, reuse, recycle, waste to energy, and disposal. By following this hierarchy, we can minimize waste generation and maximize resource efficiency. So regarding segregation, we have some do's and don'ts. So segregate waste at source. Separate different types of healthcare waste based on their categories immediately. Place it in color-coded plastic bags or containers corresponding to their waste category. Follow the prescribed standards and requirements for different types of waste containers. So in conclusion, I would like to emphasize the importance of individual responsibility in waste management. As the saying goes, cleanliness starts at your home. Let's recycle and manage waste responsibly. Thank you all for your valuable time and patience in listening to me. And tomorrow never comes, so don't forget to act now.
Thank you for that presentation. We always love good new insights to take us back to the basics. Next up presenting, we have Ahana Nakpal. Could you please unmute yourself?
Good evening, everyone. I am Ahana Nagpal from Dastakon Bowl School. So I'll share my screen.
Yes, Ahana, you have rights to do that. Ahana, you might want to try again because I don't think we can see the screen. Ahana, can everyone just do a thumbs up if we can see Ahana's screen, and if not, then just as is. No, right? Okay, in the meantime, then we'll just go over to the next speaker. Ahana, can you please fix the issue and check with what's wrong? Meanwhile, we'll move on to our next youth speaker for today, which is Prisha from the Modern School. Ahana, we'll just take you up right after Prisha. Do not worry at all. Otherwise, we can, of course, use backup for the presentation. Prisha, can you please unmute yourself and present? Thank you.
So I can share it now. I have fixed the problem. I can now.
Do you think the problem is fixed, or do you want that to be shared by the back end? Our technical team will take care of it, Ahana.
I think the problem is fixed.
All right, please go right ahead. I'll just pin you.
So is my screen
Yes, we
visible?
can. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
we can see it now.
visible.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ahana Nagpal from Dastakon Bowl School, Firozpur, India. Today, I am going to show you my presentation on redefining recycling. Let's see what we all can do for our mother planet Earth. These are some topics and my views regarding my plan for this. My perspective focuses on the critical importance of the effective waste management and its profound impact on both the environment and our community's well-being. My presentation is all about my plan to do little efforts in saving our planet Earth. So, first of all, we need to understand why to think about recycling. In the current scenario, we all are suffering environmental issues such as global warming, clearly visible these days in India, which is due to misbehavior of people towards waste management, like increased littering and improper waste disposal. Rampant littering, waste including plastic bottles, wrappers, other debris is frequently discarded in public spaces such as streets, parks, and beaches. This not only creates eyesore but also poses serious environmental risks. Environmental hazards. Improperly disposed waste, especially non-biodegradable material like plastics, can take centuries to decompose, contributing to a long-term pollution. Inadequate waste management infrastructure. There is a significant shortage of properly placed waste bins in many urban and rural areas, leading to increased littering. Lack of awareness about environmental impact. First is insufficient environmental education, misconceptions about recycling, consequences of improper waste disposals, and gap in sustainable waste practices. Next is presence of microplastics. Small plastic particles known as microplastics have been found in local ecosystems. These particles originate from broken down plastic waste and can cause significant harm to wildlife and human health. In 2014, 8 million tons of plastic entered the ocean annually, accounting for 62% of all the plastic packaging. During coastal cleanup efforts, 150 million items of plastic waste were removed. On average, there is 1 kg of plastic in ocean for every 5 kg of fish. By 250, surely there will be more plastic in the ocean than the fishes. Death by plastic. Urgent measures are needed to protect the marine life. The series of deaths of whales proves that the oceans are no longer safer for marine life. Plastic also contributes significantly to the growing burden of marine debris. Connecting to my point, some sustainable development goals like Goal 12 and Goal 13 aims at responsible consumption and production of waste and its management, and also focused on good health and well-being of people. As these piles of waste and litter are causing a serious threat to well-being and have a bad impact on me, my family, my society, my community, and my school. So, I feel a strong desire to learn about more sustainable practices and to bring change within the community. Now, we need to understand what we can do, how we will be able to reduce littering and promote responsible waste disposal methods. We can do so through educating the community, spreading awareness, and engaging residents and collaborating organizations to promote eco-friendly alternatives. So, I have an implementation plan for this. In phase 1, we can research and plan for the surveys and interviews, basically aiming at waste management. Then we will conduct strategies for the campaigns and find collaborators and resources for the campaigns. In phase 2, we will launch the awareness campaigns to educate the residents about proper waste disposal methods and also conduct cleanup events so that we can keep the environment clean and remove litter from the environment. In phase 3, we will evaluate and refine our campaigns. Firstly, we will know the feedbacks of the people, and based on the feedbacks and results, we will make the necessary adjustments in upcoming events and celebrate achievements that we have done something to improve the environment. Now we are going to pursue how community engagement can help us to fix problem of unnecessary littering by adopting effective waste management practices. We will try to involve maximum residents in the noble cause of waste management. We will have regular updates from the community of program progress. We will try to encourage the youth to participate. We will support the environmental local organizations and we will keep a regular monitoring. Our future vision regarding this program are environmental benefits like reduced pollution, healthier ecosystems, health benefits like less exposure to microplastics and better community health, community benefits like stronger environmental responsibility, enhanced community cohesion, and sustainable practices. Now arises $1 million question. How much longer can we afford to ignore the hidden health in our waste bins? This question challenges individuals and policymakers to reconsider the value of what they discard, emphasizing the economic and environmental potential of recycling. It provokes thought about the untapped resources that lie in waste and the urgency of transforming our approach to the waste management for a sustainable future. Thank you for a precious time.
Thank you for such magnificent ecological insights, Ahana. Next up, we have Devina Uppal from the Modern School as our next youth speaker.
Thank you, Parminder. Happy evening, everyone. I am Devin Opal from the Modern School, ACNCR, India. I am an author and a blogger. Environment has always been my passion, and I am thrilled to make people aware about the ecological phenomena through my creative skills. I also love to research, create art pieces, and learn languages. I aspire to be an activist and I advocate minimalism in my daily life. Minimalism is the act of buying less to produce less waste. Buy what you need and become a minimalist. We all love shopping. We shop and create waste. We are filling the earth with garbage. Garbage, mountains of garbage, and we don't care. For me, the thought came when I saw a huge garbage mountain near my city, Delhi. I saw a local garbage collector collecting loads of garbage from my locality too. My family and I decided to change it. So you are welcome to my world of minimalism. Reducing fruits and vegetable peels, making of bioenzymes using citrus peels and jaggery. Ever been wanting to make your dream potion, which has the power to clean, remove parasites, use as a fertilizer, and even for skincare? What if that could happen in reality without buying chemicals in plastic bottles? Here, my mother is making her colleagues sensitize about the preparation and use of bioenzymes. My father is leading the Residential Welfare Association WhatsApp group and making families aware on how to reduce waste on daily basis by sharing videos on minimalist approach and waste reduction ideas. I keep making my friends aware about how to open packets, as cutting the small part of the packet is a bigger problem than you think. So don't detach the plastic from the main packet. Paper is an important resource for the students all over the world. Making children aware on how to upcycle paper at public places has become a part of my weekly routine. Making brand new spiral notebooks with leftover pages is real fun. Oh, yes, Zepto, Blinkit, Big Basket, and other e commerce delivery sites have no bag option. So don't forget to click on that as shown in the picture. Plant on festivals, plant on birthdays. Don't follow the minimalist approach here. Enjoy planting to its fullest. Here we are planting on the Independence Day of our country. To reduce plastic waste, we carry our cloth bag for shopping, use non-plastic and reusable utensils, carry bottles everywhere we go, near or far, as it takes liters of water to make a bottled water of 1 liter. Buy big packets of grocery items. Do not order food online. We rather go to restaurants nearby to eat. Go digital to reduce paper waste. Read ebooks, magazines, newspapers. They are cheap. Say no to hard copy of bills. Buys and say yes to e-bills. Connect with some NGO who can upcycle your waste. Recently, we collected Navratri chutneys and donated it to a Gunj, an NGO. They upcycled it and prepared wedding dresses for poor girls. I was amazed to see that wonder. And also don't forget to participate in different sustainable development awareness programs in the city. Notebooks are precious. Margin lines of notebooks are too space taking from upwards and sidewards both. If copies can be printed with less margin or no margin, we can save a large amount of paper. It's my appeal on the Act Now platform to notebook manufacturing industry of the world. Thin margin or no margin allows for more content to be included on each page. It contributes to more sustainable practices, helping to conserve resources and reduce waste. So, my appeal to one and all present here: refuse what you don't need, reduce what you do need, reuse what you consume, recycle what you don't need, and rot the rest. Thank you and keep changing the world for good.
Thank you, Devina. And Ronnie sir, now can I please request you to play the slotted video for this session?
这世界需要我们改变，用心去听，用心发现，每一步我们一起来干预，每个小动作会让未来更美。Act now, make an impact. Together we can change the world with every step, every small act. Together we can. On this World Environment Day, let's come together, make a way to heal the earth in every way. Together we can change today. Together we can change today.
Niin se metsä vastaa, kun sinne huutaa. Joten handut multaa. Ja sit handut ilmaa. Sanasta miestä. Sanasta naista. Greta sanoissaan. Ota kiinni ja loistaa.
Yes, we all need hope. Of course we do. Yes, we all need hope. La 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 la. Yes, we all need hope. Of course we do. Yes, we all need hope. La 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 la. But the one thing we need more than hope.
sano, maa on meidän äiti. Jos unohat sen, silloin itse kuolet. Ei kannata väittää vastaan. Maa suojelee lastaan, kun sitä kunnioittaa. Tulevaisuus voittaa.
But the one thing we need more than hope. But the one thing we need more than hope. But the one thing we need more than hope. But the one thing we need more than hope. But the one thing we need more than hope. But the one thing we need more than hope. But the one thing we need more than hope is action. Yes, we all need hope. Of course we do. Yes, we all need hope. La 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 la. Yes, we all need hope. Of course we do. Yes, we all need hope. La 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 la.
Koirat alkaa räksyttää.
Savaa raplat kännykkää.
Milloin alat ymmärtää?
Meitä rupee ärsyttää.
Ne lässyttää ja lässyttää.
Meitä koittaa käskyttää.
Mut ei tiedä itsekään.
Katastrofi hämöttää.
Tehdään yhteisvoimin, ei pelota, pelota, ei puheita vaan toimintaa, tekoja, tekoja. Tää tehdään yhteisvoimin, ei pelota, pelota, ei puheita vaan toimintaa.
That was quite soul-touching music. Thank you, Ronnie sir. Alicia, you can present now.
May I know that I'm audible or not?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. A very pleasant evening to one and all present here. I, Alicia Shetali from Springfields, and the member of ECNOW is here to present a presentation on environmental sustainability. So here I start. So here are the topics that I'm going to be discussing in this presentation. The first topic is Introduction to Environmental Sustainability. The second is Global Environmental Challenges. Third, Sustainable Practices and Solutions. Fourth, Community and Global Initiatives. So what is environmental sustainability? Environmental sustainability involves making responsible choices that ensure the long-term health of our planet. Now, what are global environmental challenges? Climate change, Earth getting hotter, causing floods, storms, and melting ice. Biodiversity loss, animals and plants disappearing because their homes are getting destroyed. Pollution, dirty air, water, and soil from factories, cars, and trash. Resource depletion, using up things like oil and water faster than they can be replaced. Now, what are the impacts these challenges having on daily lives? From extreme weather events and health concern to the loss of natural beauty. It's time to recognize the relevance of sustainability in our own experiences. Here are some of the ways, or we can say the practices that we can practice to save our earth. Renewable energy, using the power of the sun, wind, and water instead of burning fossil fuels. Waste management, finding ways to make less trash and reuse what we have. Sustainable agriculture, growing food in ways that don't harm the land or waste or wildlife. Green infrastructure, making cities greener with parks and gardens to clean the air and keep it cool. Now, here are the initiatives that have taken at the global level. Paris Agreement, international treaty aimed at limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and pursuing efforts to limit the temperature increases to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Sustainable Development Goals, United Nations blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all by addressing global challenges such as poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. Green energy revolution, a global movement to transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower. Now here we're going to be discussing about strength in numbers, advocacy and awareness, economic transformation. Now, what is strength in numbers? When individuals unite for a shared goal, their collective voice has the potential to influence policies, practices, and industries. Now, what is advocacy and awareness? Campaigns often lead to increased public consciousness, which in turn drives changes at local, national, and international levels. Now, what is economic transformation? The collective push for sustainability has the potential to reshape businesses towards more sustainable practices. Now, do anyone have any question? Okay. Now it's time to take action. Save our planet. Thank you.
Is that all, Alicia?
Yes.
Thank you. I absolutely just adore all of the graphics. It made it so much more interesting for us to understand. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you.
Now, can we please have Ishna Gupta with the presentation?
Yes, thank you. Am I audible? I need to screen share.
Yes, you have the rights. Alicia, could you please stop sharing your screen?
Just give me a minute. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Yeah, now.
No. Good evening, esteemed sir, and my fellow friends. It's my pleasure to introduce myself. Well, I am Ishna Gupta of class 7th, a 11-year-old wanderer representing modern school ECNCR. My strength is my attitude that I like to take challenges and that I can do it. Continuing as a Bharatanatyam dancer, I am fond of reading books and playing basketball as well. As a member of this club, my goal is to create awareness, gain knowledge, use my skills, and involve maximum participation to work for the betterment of the environment. So today I am here with an interesting topic, climate change. Can India survive heat waves due to climate change? Can sun's heat make India poor? What nonsense! Today, India has become world's fifth largest economy, but there still exists a problem which eats up our GDP every year and we ignore it. And that problem is climate change. This is not funny, this is the truth. What is climate change? Climate change refers to long-term shifts in global and regional climate patterns. It is primarily caused by human activities that include deforestation, industrialization, pollution, and transportation. Not only this, due to climate change, there is a several problem of heat waves affecting India. First, let's understand what are heat waves. Heat wave is declared when the temperature crosses a particular limit. For example, recently India hits record-breaking 50.8 degrees Celsius temperature, making the hottest day ever on May 28, 2024. So, why do these heat waves occur? Heat waves are formed when in the atmosphere of an area, high pressure situation is created. Since high pressure is created in the upper area, Winds are trapped in this area, and this heat is unable to escape from that area, just like in a closed room. So now let's understand the effect of heat waves on our economy. We are privileged people who spend most of our times indoors, so we face heat only during traveling. But what about those who work in these high temperatures all day? You will be surprised to know, even today, India's 75% population, which means 3 out of 4 people do labor related work in construction, agriculture, or in some unorganized sector. This sector contributes 1/3 of our GDP. Do you think our leaders don't know about this? Of course they do. But if climate becomes a priority, then change will happen. Most rich countries are cold, which means heat and wealth have connection. By 2050, up to 50% of electricity demands will only be of cooling. And because our power is generated majorly from coal, to generate more power, we will release more greenhouse gas, due to which global warming and heat waves will increase. This heat is burning a hole in your pockets. So, what can we do? The government can take simple steps covering footpaths with rooftops, make rooftops on benches, etc. Usually, we have seen villagers eating food under trees. Why? Because trees give them relief and coolness. India Cooling Action Plan draft. In year 2019, the Indian government formulated an India Cooling Action Plan, and its deadline is 2038, which mainly aims at reducing cooling demand in India by 25%. A report from World Bank states that by reforming India's cooling sector emissions can be reduced by 60 to 80% and can create 2 to 20 lakh new jobs. India is at such a stage that if we take the right steps today, cooling can be provided at an affordable rate to our citizens tomorrow. NASA Goddard Institute published a study which said that rooftop gardens having different types of plants reduce the effect of heat because these plants naturally keeps the surroundings cooler. Ultimately, our attitude regarding climate change needs to change. Together we can, and together we will. So act now because tomorrow never comes. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Ishna. And now I would like to hand over the moderation to two of my colleagues, Arya Chauhan and Mahi Sood. Guys, the floor is all yours.
A very good evening, one and all present here. I, Mahi Sood, will be monitoring your session from now on, then will be handed over to Arya Chauhan. So the first person I would like to call on today is Arya Chauhan itself.
Well, yeah, thank you. I'll be sharing. Uh, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Greetings, everyone. Today, I'll be sharing my view on cities revitalizing. Our primary objective today is to highlight the vital role that green spaces play in urban environments, particularly in conserving biodiversity. Green spaces are not just patches of green trees. They're essential habitats for a wide variety of plants and animal species. By preserving and creating these spaces, we can maintain ecological balance and support a healthy, diverse ecosystem within our cities. Our vision. We aim to demonstrate how green spaces can significantly improve urban living. Firstly, they absorb pollutants and release oxygen, enhancing air quality. Secondly, green spaces mitigate the urban heat island effect, making cities cooler and more comfortable. Last, beyond these physical benefits, green spaces have a profound impact on mental well-being. They offer a natural escape from the urban hustle, reducing stress and improving the overall quality of urban presence. Urban environmental challenges. The urban environment faces several challenges. One major issue is that of the urban heat island effect. This is where cities become significantly hotter than their rural surroundings due to concrete and asphalt surface absorbing heat. This can lead to a temperature difference that can go up to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Another critical challenge is the loss of wildlife habitats. Urban development often leads to a habitat fragmentation, disrupting the natural habitat of many species and leading to a decline in biodiversity. Native plants and insects, vital to the food chain, are replaced by sterile landscapes devoid of resources. This not only affects wildlife but also impacts the air quality and public health. The solution and initiatives. Despite these challenges, there are effective solutions to revitalize our urban landscape. We will provide three key initiatives: large scale tree plantation drives, the development and upkeep of urban parks, and the conservation of natural green space. These initiatives can transform our cities into vibrant, sustainable environments. Let's delve into each of these initiatives in detail. Plantation drives. Tree plantation drives are a powerful tool for enhancing urban green space. These campaigns often involve community participation, aim to increase tree coverage. The benefits are many. Environmentally, they reduce atmospheric carbon dioxide levels, improve air and water quality by filtering pollutants, and support a wider range of species, enhancing biodiversity. Economically, they promote sustainable forestry, providing long-term economical benefits, and generate revenue through ecotourism. Socially, they foster community cohesion, bringing people together for a common cause, and raise public awareness about environmental issues. The challenges and solutions for plantation drives. Plantation drives faces several challenges. Climate stressors such as extreme weather and climate variability can threaten young trees. Invasive species can disrupt local ecosystems, and there is a need for long-term commitment to ensure the sustainability of these efforts. To overcome these obstacles, we must carefully select and prepare sites, ensuring ecological suitability in terms of soil, climate, and topography. We should prioritize native species as they are better adapted to the local environment and use exotic species cautiously. Planting a mix of species can enhance resilience. Effective planting techniques such as direct seeding and using seedlings should be chosen based on the project scale and goals. Regular maintenance and monitoring, including water and weeding, are essential for the success of these initiatives. The next would be urban parks. Urban parks are another crucial element of green urban spaces. They provide accessible nature and recreational opportunities for city residents. Environmentally, they enhance biodiversity by creating habitats for various species, improve air quality by reducing pollution, and manage stormwater by absorbing rainwater and reducing runoff. Economically, they increase property values in the nearby areas and support local business by attracting visitors. Socially, they promote community well-being by providing spaces for recreation and social interaction, encourage physical activity, and offer educational opportunities through environmental education programs. Urban parks are not just green spaces; they are vital community assets. the challenges and solutions for the same. Creating and maintaining urban parks comes with its own set of challenges. Finding suitable land in a dense urban area can be difficult. Securing funds for development and maintenance is another significant hurdle. Issues like vandalism and misuse of park facilities can also arise. To address these challenges, we need strategic site selection, ensuring the location is accessible and suitable for park development. Land use analysis can help evaluate the potential of current land use. Design and landscape should integrate native plants and sustainable practices, creating spaces for diverse recreational activities. Infrastructure developments, including installing benches, playgrounds, and restrooms, and ensuring accessibility for all abilities, is regular upkeep, including routine cleaning, gardening, and facility maintenance, along with safety measures like lighting and surveillance, can protect park facilities and ensure they remain valuable community assets. The next should be risk conservation. Risk conservation efforts, such as those aimed at protecting the Delhi rich, are vital for preserving unique habitats and species. These efforts help prevent soil erosion, maintain water quality, and regulate local climates by preserving carbon sinks. Additionally, they safeguard cultural heritage sites located on the ridge and promote eco-friendly tourism. Contributing to sustainable development, ridge conservation is not just protecting a piece of land. It's about preserving our natural and cultural heritage for future generations. The challenges and solutions for ridge conservation. Ridge conservation faces challenges like urbanization pressure, resources constraint, and governance. Balancing, balancing conservation and rapid urban growth and addressing illegal encroachment and unauthorized development are significant hurdles. Effective solutions include habitat assessment and protection, serving the ridge area to identify unique habitats and ecosystems, and implementing measures to protect these habitats from encroachment and degradation. Vegetation restoration includes replanting native vegetation and controlling invasive species is crucial. Water resource management, such as conserving water and preventing erosion and restoring natural water flow patterns, can maintain the hydrological balance. Community engagement involving local communities in the conservation efforts through awareness campaigns and participation in the restoration project is essential for the success of this initiative. Let's look at some successful examples. Copenhagen, Denmark, is renowned for its holistic approach to urban revitalization, focusing on sustainability and environmental preservation. The city has integrated green spaces into its urban plan, creating a healthier and more sustainable living environment. Portland, Oregon, US, is celebrated for its innovative urban planning and commitment to sustainability. The city has developed intensive green spaces and parks, enhancing the quality of life for its residents. Singapore is another excellent example of integrating green spaces into urban environments. The city has transformed itself into a city in a garden, with extensive green spaces and vertical gardens, creating a modern yet green urban environment. These examples show that with the right approach, we can transform our cities into vibrant, sustainable environments. Thank you for your attention. We hope this presentation has highlighted the importance of green spaces in urban environments and our daily life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arya. Your presentations are always very different and interesting.